There's 3 words to describe today's research overview: transformational, foundational, and predictive. What topic could we be talking about? Division. Did you know that mastering division is one of the key ideas in making sure your child or your student is successful in mathematics at the high school level? So let's talk about a few things about division. Division is one of those topics where a lot of people are like, it is so difficult. Usually you're thinking along division and all the different steps. So let's talk about what division is. First of all, I really like to talk about the terminology. You might remember these words, but it's dividend divided by the divisor equals the quotient. If you don't remember those, don't worry about it. Let's break those down though. So dividend, we like to use the word total. So the dividend is the total amount that you have. Then the divisor, when we're thinking without a context, I really like thinking about the divisor as the unit. And I'll come back and explain that in a little bit more detail. And then the quotient is going to be the iterations, the count, how many that you have. So if we have an example like 12 divided by 3 equals 4. So 12 is that dividend of the total, and then the 3 is the divisor, the unit. You have the 3, so I like asking that question, how many 3's fit into 12? So 3, 6, 9, 12. There's 4 iterations. So the quotient, the answer, is 4 iterations there. Okay, that doesn't seem too bad. So whenever we have a division problem without context, we just say how many of those divisors fit into the total, and then that's going to give us our iteration or count, which is the quotient. Okay, now, there's 2 types of division. So this is where, when you have a context, we have to start thinking about how we're thinking about solving these problems differently. So the first one is called measurement division. So measurement division is when you know the unit. So this could be, we'll use our 12 divided by 4 example. So a farmer has 12 chickens. And now we're going to say, we're going to put 3 chickens, that's the unit, in each coop. How many coops do we have? And we're going to count how many coops are the iterations. So here, you're thinking about it as 3, 6, 9, 12. Oh, we need those 4 coops. So that's the idea of measurement division. However, now let's switch that unit and that iteration around. So now we have what's called partitive division. So partitive division, in that story context, the farmer has the 12 chickens, the total, but now we have 3 coops. How many chickens are in each coop? So that changes our thinking when we have a partitive division problem, and the initial response, especially for young kids, is we are going to fair share it. So we're going to put a chicken in each of these 3 coops. Then we're going to put a second chicken in each of the 3, third, until we get to 4, and then we've distributed all 12 chickens, and then we can look back and go, oh, in each coop we have 4. So that unit was missing this time, and it just changes how we're thinking about the division problems. The next part is, so once we have these contextual problems, which are really important, then there's the idea of what are the different strategies we should use to divide. So the idea is for young kids, when you have a fair sharing or that partitive, yep, we're going to be able to think about those groups and then put the number in each. And as kids get older, instead of just putting 1, we could actually put in chunks, maybe 2 each, larger numbers. And then when you start getting larger numbers, you want to chunk that out in 5s and 10s. And then that actually creates the different models. As like a ratio table is a really nice way of keeping track of that. Or even an area model, you can visually look at one factor and then just keep building that out. So it's almost like a repeated addition or a repeated subtraction type of idea, keeping track of those. So then if you do measurement division, really you're thinking about a bar model or a number line where you have those groups, you have that unit 3, 6, 9, 12, so you're making those jumps. Same thing, you can move to the area model, and you can also just keep iterating out those units. So those are really great models: bar model, the number line, the area model, and then the ratio table to keep track of these chunks of information. So that's building division understanding. That's great. And then that is going to lead into a model that's called partial quotients. There's another video on teaching tips that go into that more detail. But again, you're doing these larger chunks to keep track of the mathematics, and you're really conceptualizing the idea of division. And then somewhere around 5th grade, maybe 4th grade, that's when we go into long division. So that's kind of that last piece But so there's a nice progression of ideas to build up to long division. This gives kids that deep understanding of the mathematics, and that's that predictive model where in the US, it predicts there's been a study that shows at the elementary level, 0.69 correlation of their high school success in mathematics. Way of thinking about that is, that explains their understanding of division at the elementary level, explains about 50% of the success at high school level. So is division important? It absolutely is one of the keys to making sure kids are successful in mathematics. So if you like this video, please share it with other people. Go ahead and hit the like button and give us any comments that you would like.